Hey, what is up, punks? My name is FlipLaScript, and welcome back to Storytime. It's been a while since I've done one of these. You know, we kind of got lost with Frights and Fears, all the creepypastas and things like that, and I needed a little break. So welcome back to normalcy. Hopefully there'll be a Storytime video featured here once every 10 or so days. But with that being said, let's get into this episode's Storytime, which is probably one of the scariest things that has happened to me, and it has still left an imprint on my mind ever since the day that it happened. For those of you who don't know, I used to live in Baltimore, Maryland, and this was right before and during the crime was getting really bad. Now I think it always makes like a top 10, deadliest cities in the US or top 10 most crime-ridden cities in the US. It's gotten really, really bad. But during those times when I lived there about 10 years ago, it wasn't super bad. The crime was still bad, but it wasn't at the level that you see today. And I remember there was this string of robberies that was happening near my neighborhood, and it always got closer and closer to my actual house. And it's always in the back of your mind that one day it could happen. We had bikes and we had things, stolen overnight. No one actually tried like a home invasion type deal. They just grabbed what they could in the backyard, maybe broke into like the shed, which is still creepy to know that you're laying down asleep in your bed and there's a stranger on your property and maybe inside your parents' tool shed, and if they were in there while your parents were in there, who knows what could happen. So because of that, and this is right after one of those night terrors that I would have, if you guys don't remember that was in another Storytime video. I'll link that in the outro video if you haven't seen it. But because of that, I was a very paranoid child. It was about 2 a.m. and we have this porch that has a ton of windows, so you can basically see everything. I'm talking like your neighbor to the left, your neighbor to the right, and the street. Well, this is about this time, about 10 years ago. It was around November, and I remember clear as day because there were those trash bags that are full of, the autumn leaves, so the trash pickup can pick them up. And I am going to get like some crayons, like, stuff for drawing. I was trying to like draw back in the day before I realized I was a really good writer. And I'm crawling because I don't want anyone to see me. That is how paranoid, how terrified I am of, robberies, of being kidnapped, things like that. And I remember my dad put out 3 black trash bags full of leaves. And out of the corner of my eye, I counted 4. I'm like, I know he did 3, and it wasn't windy, and the extra bag that I didn't count the other day moved, and it wasn't windy like I just said. I turn on the light, the outside light, and it was a man in black jeans, black hoodie, and he had on this yellow mask, and it left an imprint on me as a child because I don't know what he was going to do. He looked like he was going to just come in through the front door. And what always kept me up at night was the person ran to the right, which is connecting to where the alleyways are, which is into the inner city where all the crimes and things are. And that person went in that direction. I was hoping he went the other direction because then I could just say to this day, oh, it was my friend. But no, this person wanted to do some malicious content and just do malicious things, either robbing, killing, what have you. And I'm just really glad I was paranoid enough to turn on the light. They called the cops, they couldn't find him, he was never found. But I'll just never forget turning the light on that autumn night and seeing someone with a yellow mask staring back into my very soul. So yeah, that was just a short, sweet, and to the point little video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace out.